She was the world's youngest self-made female billionaire, a visionary often compared to Steve Jobs, but behind the unblinking gaze lay a massive deception. The story begins in the early 2000s amidst the frantic energy of Silicon Valley, where the next big revolution was always just around the corner. A 19-year-old Stanford dropout named Elizabeth Holmes claimed she could change the world with just a single drop of blood. She founded Theranos, promising a future where painful needles were obsolete and diagnostic testing was accessible to everyone, everywhere. At the center of this revolution was a sleek, mysterious black box known as the Edison. It was meant to perform hundreds of tests simultaneously. Holmes carefully crafted her persona, adopting the black turtleneck and a deep, commanding voice to project authority and innovation to her investors. The hype was intoxicating. Forbes and Fortune hailed her as the next great innovator, placing her on covers that graced newsstands across the country. Theranos reached a staggering valuation of $9 billion, fueled by high-profile board members and a desperate desire to believe in her miracle. But inside the company, the atmosphere was far from transparent. Security was intense, and employees were sworn to secrecy under strict non-disclosure agreements. The truth was that the Edison machine didn't work. It was a hollow shell, incapable of producing the accurate results Elizabeth had promised. To keep the illusion alive, Theranos was secretly using commercial Siemens machines, diluting tiny blood samples to make them compatible with standard technology. This led to dangerously inaccurate medical reports. Real patients were receiving false data about their health, putting lives at risk for the sake of profit. The golden thread began to unravel when a whistleblower reached out to John Carreyrou, an investigative journalist at the Wall Street Journal. Carreyrou spent months digging through the lies, interviewing former employees who were terrified of the company's legal retaliation. In October 2015, The Expose was published. The world finally saw the massive discrepancy between the public myth and the private reality. The fall was swift. Investors sued, partnerships dissolved, and the FDA launched a massive raid on the Theranos laboratories. The $9 billion empire crumbled into digital zeros. Elizabeth Holmes was indicted on multiple counts of wire fraud and conspiracy. She eventually traded her black turtleneck for a court suit, facing the consequences of a deception that captivated and then shocked the world. The Theranos story remains a haunting lesson on the dangers of corporate greed and the high price of a lie in Silicon Valley.